Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Gran Turismo World Series Manufacturers Round 2. So we're doing a last to first challenge on our second account again. Basically having a little bit of fun after getting a pretty good result in on our main account. Of course in the Toyota on our main account. On our second account we have chose the Meta, we have chosen Nissan. Seems to be pretty good everywhere, both in Group 4 and Group 3. Because we are in the GTR for this one, around Road Atalanta, the new track, not really too familiar. I've had a little bit of practice though on the other account, so I kind of know what to do. But as you can see, the full grid here, P15, and in P16 there is us. So last the first challenge, let's see what we can do. We have to make up ground pretty quick so that we don't let the top drivers run away. Now I decided not to set a qualifying lap because I wanted to see how far we could get from the back of the grid. Although in my practice before, the free practice you get before the race, I was doing about a 25.1. So I definitely know I was fast enough to go pole in this race. So that should set us in good stead for the future. As the Volkswagen here just goes very defensive and then turns into us during the braking zone. That's going to upset his own car way more than mine, so we're just going to sneak up the inside. And then here we just get a little bit on the grass there, a bit of a clumsy move, but we're going to get ushered onto the grass anyway. So no harm, no foul. And then the Volkswagen there just trying to get up a gap that wasn't really there. Never going to work, that one. Then we're going to focus on this BMW up ahead. We've lost a little bit of time, not too much. It's all getting very messy up here in the back section of the grid. And there's another player there just spinning off in the Porsche. So it's going to move us up 3 positions already. That's going to be 4 positions after we get this move done. On the Cayman, of course, not got the best top end. So that is us up into P12. Not a bad return for the first lap. Of course the first lap is not over yet, so we're trying to make up a couple more positions here. And we're going to get one on the exit. And then we're going to get another one just as we're going over the start line. So that is another 2 positions on the final section of the course, and that is us up into P10. Now we have to focus on Glenn up in front in the Toyota Supra. Of course we know that car pretty well, we know the strengths of that car on this track. And it doesn't really have too many, but it does have really good top end. So we're going to have to make the most of the slipstream going onto the long straight. Getting a really good exit there, going into the slipstream as much as we can. You can see the delta there coming down all the time. Started at 0.4. We're now down to 0.2. Are we gonna have enough to go for the move? We're gonna look for it, and we are going to go for it. But the Toyota does have very good brakes. Manages to get it stopped. Got very defensive on the exit. It's gonna lose him time. Trying to get the switchback on the start line, but again he goes very defensive. Although not defensive enough, so we're just going to move over a little bit more and then fire it down the inside into turn 1. So we have the Finnish driver up in front in the Jaguar. That will be our next victim. See if we can catch up with him relatively quickly. Just see they're running a bit wide, pushing the car to the absolute maximum that we can. Let's try and exert every single second we can out of this car. So that's going to put us a little bit too far back to go for the move. But they are going to battle up in front. We've got young Lewis Hamilton in the Porsche. And unfortunately for him there is a little bit of lag and we accidentally murder the Porsche. I did apologise after the race, but he wasn't too happy, so sucks to be him. So we're looking to make a move in the Lexus. I think I've called it a Jaguar before. It is actually a Lexus. A little bit slow going out the first corner, and we are going to shoot it up the inside. He tried to turn in on us there. Did scare me a little bit, but we make it work. And then we're just trying to solidate our position. P7 going through the S-bends. And we're going to fast forward a little bit now to the middle of lap 5, where we have caught up with the other Nissan GTR. The Spaniards, see what we can do against the Spaniard here. We are going to be in the slipstream. He is also going to have the slipstream from the NSX, I believe. Up in front of him. So we're looking to gain at least P6 here, possibly P5. Of course the guy in P5 did have a penalty. We're going to move out early and try and box the GTR in, which worked perfectly. Make sure we get it stopped. Try and get the good exit so we can get the NSX. Coming over the start line here. Are we close enough to go for the move? It doesn't really matter because he's going to forget to turn and just go off. Also, we get dumped into the grass for good measure, because why not? Now I know there's no one behind us, so we can safely rejoin here and carry on, not lose too much speed. So that's pretty good. We're going to fast forward again here to the end of lap 6, where the guy that punted us off had a 4-second penalty. So we're going to breeze past him. We did not lose 4 seconds, so that is just well up into P5. I'm going to fast forward a little bit further here onto lap 8. Now one of the guys in front did make an early pit stop, so we're going to have to look out for those as we try and get it slowed down here for the pit entry. Of course it's really difficult pit entry here. You have to make sure you don't go over the yellow line. And we're not going to change tyres. We're going to keep on the same set. Of course it is hard tyres, so you don't get that much tyre wear. And we are also going to make a mistake here. We're going to overfuel. We're going to refuel all the way up. So putting too much in because I didn't want to worry about fuel towards the end of the race. We just want to push as hard as we can. So just coming out of the pits here, making sure we don't get a 3-second penalty. That would pretty much destroy our race. So going out in P10, of course, in the GTR it does use a lot of fuel, so we have pitted quite a bit earlier than everybody else. So we're still hoping to gain quite a few positions once other people make their pit stops. Trying to catch up with this Scirocco just up ahead. Of course, the guy we passed, he started just before us on the grid, and we passed him into turn 1 on the first lap. So should be pretty easy to make a move, because we are in the slipstream. That Scirocco hasn't got the best top end, so we should be able to pass into turn or into the bus stop chicane. Not quite making it work there on the brakes, but he does get a little bit twitchy, and we cut the corner there a little bit, and also cut off the Scirocco as he was trying to make his pit stop. He should have made that intent earlier so that I could have just gone around the outside. Now of course we have Lewis Hamilton, who is yet to make a pit stop. We have already overtaken him once during this race, so we'll see if we can make it twice. Of course we do have that 1 second penalty to deal with, so gonna be a little bit harder. And we have the orange Porsche just up ahead. Of course we were battling with that one just before the pit stops. Make sure we get a good exit onto this long straight, so that we can lose as little time as possible. Of course we are going to lose about a minute, probably more, as we make our move here. It's all going to be in vain though, because we do have that penalty. So he's going to go flying back past. We are going to make up a position on the orange Porsche there, but not enough to make a move on the GTR, who of course was the pole sitter. So they've had a really bad race so far, sitting down in P6. We're going to try and take that position off them. And of course we have to make yet another move on the Frenchman of young Lewis Hamilton. That would be the third move we've made on them today. Just keep it nice and clean and tidy through here. We are gaining all the time. Of course the Porsche is going to make it difficult for the GTR to overtake, so we're all going to get backed up a little bit down these S-bends. Going to make sure the Porsche doesn't start catching us behind. As I cut that a little bit, I thought. We didn't end up getting a penalty for it, but I thought that was very much 4 wheels over the grass. The penalties on that corner are a little bit inconsistent, as we just get bumped straight in from behind there. Porsche not intending to stop. So we lose a little bit of time there. I'm actually going to lose quite a lot of time going down this back straight, because we don't have the slipstream anymore. We'll see how close we are going into the last chicane. Sitting in P7, making sure we don't get overtaken by the guy behind. In the Supra, of course. So we know that car has a lot of top end, but not really good anywhere else during the track, so should be safe. A little bit of contact up ahead between the two Porsches. We're just trying to focus on getting a really good exit. No mistakes through here. And so far, it's the French Porsche that is coming out on top. We make a bit of a mistake going through there, and that's going to set us back a little bit too far to go for any moves into these last two right-handers. So now we're just looking to get a really good exit. Going to be in the slipstream this time. Although we have to pull out really quickly because the Porsche doesn't get the best exit. So that's going to put us up into P6. We're going to move up into P5 here as somebody else is making their pit stop. So let's focus on this Porsche, try and get in front. Of course they are the ones that bumped us off into that corner just before the long straight, which I haven't forgotten. We're going to try and pass cleanly, but we're not afraid to get our elbows out on our second account. Of course that is why I'm lower rated in the second account. We're not a dirty driver, we're just an aggressive. I think we're more aggressive on our second account. So we're going to try and look for the move. We're trying to look for the slingshot so we get a good exit. We know we've got the top end on that Porsche. We also know we're a lot faster during the corners in that Porsche. So we should have the run on him going into the last chicane. Now this is a very interesting move, so I go to the outside here, keep it very straight, and I'm not really sure what happened. You'll have to let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But it seemed like he was still turning in towards us during the braking zone, and that upset the car so that he swerved into us. I'm not really too sure. It all happened very quickly and I'm not really sure who's to blame, but Gussie here just spinning out and almost taking us out as we swerve to avoid him. That's going to put us up into P3, and as we move to the last lap, coming over the finishing line to finish P3 with a little bit of rallycross. So last to P3, not a bad result. Certainly lost a lot of time in those unnecessary fights that we could have avoided. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you are enjoying the content, and subscribe so that you never miss a video. See you in the next one. Bye.